Good morning, everyone. We from Group 1 will present the first material, namely definition, strategy, essence, and difference of direct instruction and group work. Before that, let us introduce ourselves. The first one
I'm-
is
My name is Tikada Sasmita Aprilia as the first speaker.
My name is Komare Widyastuti as the second speaker.
my name is Gustia Sapitri Ningrum as the third speaker. The presentation will be started by the first speaker, Sasmita. Time is yours.
Thank you, Ningrum. So I will continue with the presentation. The first is direct instruction. According to Carnin 2000, direct instruction is one of the short-lived methods of learning. This direct instruction centers on the skills and application of teaching in direction of the teacher. Whereas, according to Carnin 2003, direct instruction is the same thing as explicit teaching. This approach is believed to be applied by teachers to maintain consistently the basic skill that students must do, student participation, providing feedback, and also the opportunity to try. Next. And that direct instruction has 5 components, namely orientation, presentation, structure practice, guide practice, and self-guide practice. The first is orientation. In this space, teacher give a big picture of the material to be studied, describe the purpose of learning, associated the material with real life or previous learning, and conveys a basic competency. The second is presentation. In this section, teacher will explain, illuminate, give an overview, and demonstrate the material studied. And the last one is structure practice, guide practice, and self-guide practice. The final stage is all 3 types of practice. This stage is where teachers gradually begin to let go of their student to do their own work. At first, the teacher will guide the student in full to do his job, and then teacher will then let them work alone but still be monitored by the teacher. In the end, it was only then that the students were released to practice for themselves what they were doing. Please next. Direct instruction has 4 characteristics, namely the first is the activity only revolves around providing basic knowledge and skill with the aim of having a relationship with other without being forced. Next. The second is a range of teacher-centered activities, such as what material are taught, what teaching method to apply. The third is direct student to continue to do as many tasks as possible. The last one is keep the classroom conducive and comfortable, and teachers should avoid unpleasant punishment for students. Next. And group work. According to Eva Hamar 2014, the work group is a learning system that is done in groups. Work groups are used at all student level in all education system. The term group work can be called real group work or meaningful group work, and is able to show how students are able to work in a group in order to achieve the goal of that group. I think it's enough for me. The next will continue with Ria.
Thank you, Sasmita. Well, I will continue the presentation. Next, about the essence of direct instruction and group work. For the first one is the essence of direct is that it, it relies more on the student experience, including providing feedback. Feedback to students in a learning is the reinforcement, that is the application of the theory of behavior. Next, the essence of group work. The fact of group work is that it emphasizes student activity through group discussions, as well as giving students the opportunity to interact with their group friends. Next. The similarity and difference of direct instruction and group work. Next, similarities of direct instruction and group work is the direct instruction and group work are both effective learning process that are able to improve students' abilities. And difference of the direct instruction and group work is direct instruction able to improve student learning outcomes, and group work is able to increase student responsibility for what students have learned. Next. Next, please. Next, the advantages and disadvantages of direct instruction and group work. The first advantages of direct instruction. There are four advantages of direct instruction. For the first one is the teacher can control the breadth of the material. The teacher can directly control the content and breadth of the material so that the teacher can find out how far the students are able to master the material that the teacher has provided. The second is effective in delivering material. Because of the limited learning time they have, the direct instruction learning model is very effective in delivering material that is quite broad for students. The third is students can listen to the material directly. Students can listen to the learning material directly and see through the implementation of demonstration. The fourth is can be used with multiple type classes. The direct instruction learning model can be used for a large number of students and class size. Next, disadvantages of direct instruction. There are three disadvantages of direct instruction. For the first one is cannot cater for student differences. The direct instruction learning model is only for the ability to hear and listen well, but it cannot serve the differences of students. The second is only emphasize one-way communication. The direct learning model can only run well if students have good listening skills, but cannot serve differences in abilities, differences in knowledge, interests, talents, and differences in learning styles. And the last is controlling student understanding is very limited. Opportunities to control students' understanding of learning material are also very limited beside that. One-way communication can result in the knowledge processed by students will be limited to what is given. So I think it's enough from me. The presentation will continue by Ningrum.
Thank you, Ria. I will explain about advantages and disadvantages of group work. Advantages of group work. The first one is group work allows changing the subject matter according to background of differences between groups. It aims to adapt student needs, interests, and abilities regardless of differences between students. The second is group work encourages students to verbally reveal their ideas, and this can help them to understand the subject matter. The third is some students will be very effective when explaining their ideas to others in the language they easily understand. This can help the understanding for group member for the completeness of the subject matter. The last is group work helps students learn to respect other students, both the smart and the weak, and work with each other. Disadvantages of group work. The first one is some students may initially get into trouble as other group members do. Perhaps because they are unpopular or different from one member and another member of the group. The second is some teachers find it not easy to control all students in the group, possibly because there are too many groups. So the teacher has more difficult controlling students in each of this group. The last is because it requires a deeper understanding. This strategy is widely used in high school and college. Next, implementation of direct instruction. I will give one of example of implementation direct instruction. Please play the video.
Next word, get ready? Yes, please. Three checks. Next word, get ready? Yes, there. Three checks. Next word, get ready? Yes, remember. Goodbye, remember. Good job. Now, we got rid of a lot of goodbye words today, so if we keep reading really well, maybe we won't have a lot to underline there. Okay. We're going to start with some vocabulary review. Roll away from the bench. Okay.
We can see in the video how direct instruction is implemented. In this model, teacher become learning center. The information that student get is sourced from teacher, but that does not mean teacher only provide knowledge linearly. Next. Next, please. Implementation of group work. Please play the video.
Because we teach group work to our students, they know they have a piece to contribute. They know how to use their resources in other people, and they know how to build ideas together.
Now we're going to say the day you were born. 7, 9, 10, 11. We got it.
We are an all honors curriculum here, which means we're providing high-level instruction grades 7 to 12. Given that, however, we have to realize that it's all
7 all the way to grades 12. We start in 7th grade with roles and responsibilities. You want to make sure you understand what are the responsibilities of each of the roles that you can give. Group work comes naturally. I think it's something that they have to learn.
Okay, in the video we can see how to implementation of the group work, where to invite students to form a group that aims to exchange thoughts or opinion with their friends. The information of this group is to invite students to be active and carrying out certain tasks and solving problems given by teacher. That's all about our presentation. Thank you for your attention.